What's going on, everyone? My name's Hayden with KECO, and today I'm going to be walking you through the assembly of your L2E premium system. Now, while we're getting this thing unwrapped, I'm going to walk you through the tools that you'll need for this build. You'll need a 4mm hex bit, or you can use the included T-handle, a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, an 8mm socket, a 6mm Allen wrench, 14mm socket, and a 9/16 socket. Once you've got the pallet unwrapped, you're going to want to verify that you received all of your boxes. If you ordered the L2E Premium without the VAX system, you are going to receive a total of 5 boxes. All of these boxes will be labeled box 1 of 5, 2 of 5, and so on. Now, once you've removed those smaller boxes on top of box 2, you're going to want to start with box 1. Box 1 is labeled with a sticker that says "Start here, open me first." Cut the adhesive tape that's securing the upper part of the box to that lower tray. Lift off the upper part of the box to reveal the lower assembly of your GPR cart. Now, you're going to want to grab a second person to help you lift the lower part of the assembly up and off the pallet. And make sure when you do this that you're lifting from the middle tray. Not from the top 2 drawers, but from the middle tray or the lower tray. If you lift from the drawers, that could cause some damage to the drawer mechanisms. As you can see, we've got a few things on top of drawer 1. We've got our hardware bag, we've got our tool hooks, and our instruction sheet. We want to set those aside for now. We'll come back to them in just a second. Go ahead and remove that cardboard and lock your swivel casters. Just like we did for box 1, cut that tape securing the upper part of the box to the lower part of the box and lift the upper part off and away. You're going to want to cut that adhesive tape that's on the lower part of the box. This will make it a lot easier to grab that upper part of the GPR cart. Once again, with 2 people, lift this upper part of the GPR cart off of the pallet, and you're going to want to make sure that your hands are at least 4 inches in from the outside. Now, be patient with this part and carefully, as level as you can, lower the top half of the assembly into the lower half of the assembly. You'll want to have the front of the cart that says glue pull repair facing the same direction that the drawers open, and you'll want to have the brackets on the back side slide over the top of the lower part of the GPR cart. Once you've got that top half in place, you'll want to verify that everything's lining up properly. You should be able to see threads all around the top section of that lower part of the GPR cart. Now let's grab our hardware bag and get 18 of those black M6 screws. Starting off, you're just going to want to hand tighten those screws for a couple reasons. 1, it helps everything align a lot better. And 2, we are going to be removing a few of these screws on the right side of the cart to accommodate our tool holder bracket. Once you've got all those screws hand tightened on all 4 sides, you're going to want to locate your tool holders. These tool holders are located in the lower shelf of the cart. Go ahead and open it up and start with that top side. This bracket will house both of our glue guns, our heat gun, our alcohol, and infrared thermometer. Remove these 4 screws and use them to secure the top bracket onto the GPR cart. Once you've installed the top bracket, go ahead and grab the lower bracket and remove these 2 screws and use them to secure the lower bracket onto the cart. That left side of the bracket will serve as a catching tray for any spent glue that happens to leak out of the gun, and then the back 2 cups will serve as a docking place for your glue sticks. Once you've installed those brackets for the tool holders, we're going to move on to installing our tool pan. Remove these 2 lower screws on the left side of the lower part of the cart and use them to secure the tool pan. Once we've done this, we can go ahead and snug up all of those screws that we hand tightened in just a little bit ago. And then we're going to locate these tool straps. Locate the pre-drilled holes on the locking top enclosure. They should be on the left side of your cart. You'll want to place that bolt through the bracket and then sandwich the plastic spacer in between that bracket and the outside of the locking top. Go ahead and thread that 8mm nut on, and before you tighten it up, go ahead and get that second bolt secured on as well. Grab the back side of that nut and then snug it down. Repeat this process for all 3 of the tool straps. Now we're going to move on to installing our handle that will go on the right side of the cart. This is what you're going to drive the cart or pull it around with. Place that bolt through the plastic handle and make sure it is exposed on the inside of the locking top. Place your lock washer onto that bolt and then thread your 14mm nut onto the back side. Now, when you tighten this, be careful. You do not want to over tighten this part. You could potentially snap the plastic handle if you get a little too carried away. All right, now that we've got our handle installed, we can go ahead and start installing our tool hooks onto the backboard of the cart. Now, you'll want to locate this one special hook for the slide hammer. This is what it looks like. Make sure that you're putting that in the correct position. Now, after this step, you can go ahead and open up all those boxes in the lower part of the cart and place them onto the backboard. Now, what we're showing now is some of our larger items. Our K-beam will come in a separate box, as well as the K-powers, and those K-powers will need to be docked on the outside of the cart using those tool straps that we just installed. Now we're pretty much done with our tool cart. We can go ahead and move on to building our 36-inch shop light. Unbox all the contents and locate your hardware. Use these longer bolts to install the casters to the fixed portion of the base, or the deeper extrusion, which is on the back of the shop light. Hold your caster up and use that 9/16 nut to secure it on the back side. Go ahead and snug those up. Now, using the shorter bolts, we're going to install the front casters in the same manner, just using that smaller bolt. Go ahead and snug everything up, and then you are going to want to insert the legs into the fixed portion of the shop light. Once you've got those legs in place, go ahead and snug these legs up using that handle. Now, locate your main column. This is the one that has 3 knobs on it, and place it over the post in the base of the light. One of these knobs should face outwards and not interfere with the black plastic tray. Now insert the upper column into the main post with the pivot area facing forward. Once you've done this and tightened down that knob on the main post, go ahead and loosen that upper knob. Adjust that top section of your light out. This will make it a lot easier to get our light panel onto the shop light. Now all you've got to do is push that button in and slide the light into place. And that marks the end of this install. You are ready to start glue pulling and start making less invasive repairs. Thank you guys so much for putting your trust into KECO for your glue pulling needs, and we are here to support you all along the way. You can find our contact information at KECOtabs.com. If you have any trouble with the equipment, if you have anything that needs warranted, we're here to stand behind that and to help support you in any way that we can.